Transformers Prime robots in disguise, Voyager class Bulkhead. The figure is part of, I believe, the first wave of the Voyager class robots in disguise figures for the Transformers Prime toy line. Oh, here he is. Looks very much like Bulkhead. He has some problems. Scale wise, he's okay. Um, I'd like to think this figure is a very good, okay figure. Um, he, at best, he's above average. And my thinking is, if you just need a Bulkhead on your shelf, and you're not really the hardcore Transformers Prime collector, this is the Bulkhead for you. So anyway, let's get him into robot mode so you can appreciate better what I'm talking about. Okay, so here he is. Let's talk about paint apps first. It's okay. I don't appreciate the painted windows really. I wish they had made it translucent. This figure, along with the other RID figures, have a lot of translucent parts. The forearm is translucent, the chest is translucent, the neck is translucent. I can't imagine why they couldn't have just made a translucent door and just painted it green. Maybe they wanted it all the same color or something for whatever reason. The non-translucent glass, the non-transparent glass is really a bummer for me. So otherwise, paint apps is great. Just to give you a bit of a color comparison, I actually like, this is my favorite Bulkhead. I'm so biased with this Bulkhead for some reason. I don't know. But this is the Bulkhead for me. If you absolutely must have just one Bulkhead, this is the one you have to pick up. This is the first edition Bulkhead, and it is amazing. It's an amazing figure. It scales great. It's fantastic. Now, look-wise, at certain angles, this guy looks a lot more like the Bulkhead on the show. At certain angles. Silhouette and bulk and not bulk, well, and beefed up what am I trying to say? How Bulkhead size wise, how he compares with the other figures. I think this guy looks, heftiness wise, he's a lot more like Bulkhead. This one is a little bit thin, as you can see. There's a lot of open spaces here and there as compared to this one. As you can see, the position of the wheels on this one is a lot better than this one. This one looks like they're wings. Well, yeah. And the shoulders on this one are a lot smaller than what it appears to be. As you can see, they're just flaps that have been folded onto the shoulders. This one is an actual real shoulder. So, heftiness wise, this is still the Bulkhead for me. Head sculpt. This one looks a lot more like Bulkhead in some regard. This one looks a lot more like the animated Bulkhead. Or, I don't know, maybe not. Also, something I did not notice early on was that his jaw is actually movable. So that's pretty interesting. That's a plus for this guy. So, again, this one will beat this guy 9 out of 10 times in terms of who should be on your shelf. But still, this is not a bad figure. It's average, above average at best. I'd even go as far as saying that this one, playability-wise, this one is a lot more fun than this guy. And we'll get to that in a little while because of the transformation issues I have with this guy. Very small issues, but still issues. This one, he's thin in some parts, but I think if you're going to give Bulkhead to your kid, this is the Bulkhead you want to start him with. Then if he's okay, if he's good with this one, then you can gradually move him up. Okay, I'll show you this one in vehicle mode later. So onto the accessory. He's got this really cheesy gimmick mech tech weapon. This is not a bad weapon because I like the fact that it spins. There's a gear that when you push this down allows this to keep its momentum going, and it'll spin for a while. And there's a light bulb underneath that gets activated as you do this. The batteries are located here. My advice is, if you're not really into those lights thingy gimmick, take out the batteries so they don't leak, and so that your kid can still appreciate this even when they're grown up and whatnot. You don't ruin the circuitry. So it's okay. You can probably cannibalize this thing and just you know, tear it apart and get rid of the spring if you want just a ball weapon for Bulkhead, because this is not removable. I don't think so. Can't peg it anywhere. This is the only way you can peg it in, which is kind of weird. And just like that. Yeah. He also has this sort of meat tenderizer battering ram or something. Sorry, I spent a lot of time in the kitchen. It looks like a meat tenderizer to me. Or a battering ram of sorts. It looks small for him. Doesn't really look, it looks more like a kitchen accessory on him. So I'm not a big fan of this one. But still, it's added plastic. I mean, I wish they could have used the plastic to just beef up the shoulders some more. So that's him in robot mode. Articulation, he's got a ball jointed neck, no waist or upper torso. He's got a swivel shoulder with a ball hinge right here. He's got a swivel bicep, double hinge elbows, and in and out wrist movement because of transformation. He's got a ball jointed hip, thigh swivel, hinge knee, and sort of a little bit of a foot articulation because of transformation. So, still okay. Now on to the transformation. My particular figure feels a little bit flimsy. I don't know for your part. This one immediately fell off. This particular piece. So, yeah. Like I was saying, this particular piece just loves to pop off. I think it's a quality issue on mine. I don't know if you can see it right there. There is a break. It's not a complete hole. It's sort of, there's a chip right there on that side, and that's where it tends to really just pop off. And it sucks that, you know, Hasbro's esteemed quality of plastic is not reflected here. They're highly, I mean, if you've bought Hasbro products, the quality on Hasbro products are just amazing, right? and this is really quite a disappointment. Okay, that they'd come up with, they'd fall short on something like that. Anyway, whatever. So there, that's very flimsy. This feels a little bit loose, but you know, the arms are okay, the legs are okay. So to transform him, what you want to do is, as the instruction says, you want to go ahead and flip this and just close it like that. If you can avoid popping it off. Come on, just like that. And then go ahead and rotate the forearms this way and rotate the biceps this way. Kind of a two-step thingy, but that's what it says, like that. Okay, go ahead and pop the back open. This one will just go, oops, like that. Okay. Go ahead and fold these at the back, right, like that, and then join them here. There's a peg that will join the forearms together. Fold the fists inside. So that's how you do it. Then you gotta rotate these pieces back and then just sort of hook them like that. Same with this one without popping off the window. Like that. There it goes. It's been popping off all day. Now this is, I think it's more of an issue on my figure, and but it's okay. I don't really mind that much. I mean, I'm not going to be transforming this guy for more than when I display him. He's not going to be transformed a lot. So that's that. Then the head piece goes back like this. There's a tab here which was intended for you to pull, so to put his head back in robot mode. It doesn't work. See, no matter how hard you try, you're just gonna break a nail. Okay. You push this, then you can go do that. That's what you teach your kid how to do it, to transform like that, or you teach your mom or dad how to do it, because most nowadays kids know how to transform Transformers more than their parents. So like that, it does not work this way. Just forget about it. Okay, let's do the let's just finish doing the cab. Okay, go ahead and fold the doors like that, and then the you can go ahead and, yeah, we'll do that later. You can go ahead and fold the back panels first, like that. They go over these bits, and then they lock right here. So, and there's a small tab right there that goes underneath. So you just have to be more precise with that. Come on. Yeah, like what I'm doing, like being very precise. So, okay, right there. So that's the back part, the cab. Now what you want to do next is go ahead and fold out the hood, or his stomach. Go ahead and fold this one like that, and this one should just go underneath like that. You can keep it on like what the box says, but the instruction says to fold it back like that later. So I'll do it like that. Go ahead and fold the spine backwards. Oh no, before you do that, sorry, go ahead and transform the feet first. Go ahead and rotate this way, and then the instructions tell you to just sort of slide this thing down. They don't really explicitly say what to do. It's really rotating these wheel bits, and I'm not doing a good job showing it. There we go. You just rotate them this way. The instructions are not very explicit on that. I wish they were. It would save you some trouble figuring it out, but that's what you do. You don't move them down, you rotate them. The instructions tell you to move them down, and you move them down. The next picture, they're up. They're so high up, so you know, rotate it, then fold these up like that. Fold the feet up like that. Okay, now you can go ahead and move the spine back and move the feet up to this position. There's a, as you can see, there's a tab there with a notch right there onto his stomach or the hood, which you just connect. It's a very, it becomes very intuitive once you figure out what to do. Then you can go ahead and fold the arms back like that. And then the arms connect onto those tabs. There's some tabs right there on the door. They connect to the arms, or the arms, I should say, connect to them. So again, it becomes very intuitive once you already have an idea of what to do, but the instructions aren't very clear specifically on what you should do. There's a lot of figuring out, but in the end, you can get it done. So this one, you need to fold it back like this, and just kind of push it a little bit to push the bumper up so that it doesn't scrape the ground as you roll Bulkhead, because if you push it down like this, you can hear that little bit of a scraping sound. There is like 0.5 millimeter clearance even if you put it down like this, but I think you just, yeah, like that I think is best. So he rolls okay. He looks like Bulkhead in alt mode, so still not a bad figure. So despite the issues I have with transforming him and some of the flimsy issues that I have with him, he's still, again, as I said, a very good okay figure. He's not a superior figure, but he's just definitely okay. He's not bad. I'm not going to throw this guy away. I'm not going to sell him for crap. Famous last words, but probably end up selling him for crap. Anyway, you can put this on top here, put the battering ram or meat tenderizer right there, and you can still activate the weapon. So a very, very cool figure. But if you ask me, playability wise, this one is still a heck of a lot better. The Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Bulkhead, it's not all that great in scale, but playability wise, I had a lot more fun with this one than this one. This one is very, very careful, and this one seems to be more like a display piece. If you need to display Bulkhead on the shelf, you have enough shelf space, not like me, you can have him like this, and then you can have this one in alt mode. It works for me. I think it might work for you. So I'd like to give the figure a 7 out of 10. I would not recommend it. I would not recommend purchasing the figure on full-on retail price. I would say it's probably most likely on clearance somewhere out there. So I think you should just go get it on clearance stores like Ross, Fred Meyer's, or Big Lots, or whatever, in parts of your world. In here in Manila, everywhere you go, Toys R Us or Toy Kingdom, this thing is already at 45% off. So it's not a bad deal. I paid just about the amount of money I would pay for a deluxe class figure to get this guy, so I'm not at all too disappointed with it. So yeah, so I do apologize for the lengthy video. It's more of a rant on this figure more than a review, and I thank you for putting up with it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. Follow me on Twitter for my toy purchases, Instagram, toy sightings. Check out 2 of my channels, Chefatron and FX Franz. Chefatron will have all my reviews, and FX Franz, the old channel, which is still me, Chefatron, FX Franz, same guy, will have the vlogs. Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, Voyager class, Bulkhead. Thanks for watching.